Good morning, everyone. So, last week I didn't see it, although I seen it in a post in my Brain Trust group yesterday, that Microsoft released for general review, which is public review, the Windows Server 2022. Now, why is this kind of important? Not that I do a whole lot of server work, but this is important because with the release of Windows 7 coming soon, they obviously, for the business world, has to have a server software that will work with Windows 11. Now, from what I've seen so far, I haven't done a whole lot of testing on that, but Windows 11 Pro Edition will work with Server 19, and I believe it will still work with Server 16. But I haven't tested it, and like I said, I don't do a whole lot of server work, so I've only got one client who has a true client-server system that I'm maintaining at the moment. Everyone else is using like cloud-based services and so on and so forth, or local to their desktop or peer-to-peer networking. So server clients are far and few in between for me, so I don't have to really keep up to date with it as much. So hence the reason why I missed the announcement last week and just now seen it yesterday. But let me throw this out here so you all can see it. Microsoft's, it says the weirdest release. That's because they released the virtual hard drive version before the ISO version, which is a little unusual. Usually the disk format or ISO format usually comes out before the virtual hard drive format, but either way works. But yeah, they're talking about new security enhancements and so on and so forth, and this is not a surprise, especially with the new operating system that's coming out, and it's going to be in the work environment. What I've read of Windows 11 so far, and this is what I'm watching for. And I've kind of made changes to my one client who already has the Windows 2019 Server Edition. So when this happens, I'm not like completely out of the ball game with it at the moment. Supposedly what's supposed to happen when everyone's computers upgrades from Windows 10 to Windows 11. If you have Windows 10 Pro or higher and your computer switches over to Windows 11, at the moment, it will switch to Windows 11 Home Edition, which for most of you have no idea what that means, but for the business world, what that means is that domain controls go out the window because there's no way to put that information in. Microsoft is saying that you can buy the Pro Edition, and I don't know how much that's going to cost. Hopefully, when it becomes forced upgrades for everyone, when the upgrade starts to go through, it will recognize that a computer is Pro Edition and either one, not install it, or two, give the option for people to buy it, because the Pro Edition is really designed for the business world, and for it to work effectively, obviously you're going to need the new server software. I haven't played with it. I might download it and just tinker around with it, because I can get a 120-day or 180-day trial run with it just to look at it. But yeah, it's not a surprise to me. It's not, because in this field, this is what you expect. So this being released and not really having any big fanfare for it, other than people who work in this environment, not a surprise. I do, like I said, I'm mostly in retail side, which is consumers, which is mostly the Windows 10 Home, Windows 7 Home. I do have seen people who have Windows 7 and Windows 10 Pro, but those features are not being used because, well, they're not in a server client situation. They're just using it because it has the extra features in it. But yeah, not a surprise to see this. This is probably going to be released out for general use. I think it said later this year. I know the download is available now for us for general review, but I don't think they've released a date. Yeah, it's not been released yet. So I mean, it came out of alpha stage back in June. Um, so yeah, they're probably searching or targeting for the same time as Windows 11, simply because, like I said, with Windows 11, as of right now, if you have the Pro edition of Windows 10 on your computer and Windows 11 come out, say it came out right now, you would be switched over from Windows 10 Pro to Windows 11 Home. And so for them to start pushing out the new server, not a surprise at all. So, but it's supposed to have new enhanced in security and so on and so forth. Again, I haven't looked at it, I haven't played with it, so I don't know. Not something that I would normally tinker with, but like I said, I might just download it for the fun of it and take a look to see what's all in there. If it's built on the same ideas and premises of 2019 and 2016, it's not too complicated. But even then, there's so much stuff on the server side that I even don't know. I have to look it up as I need it. So for those people out there who need the Windows Server 2022, it is coming. I'm sure you're aware of it. Will you be forced to upgrade to it? I don't think so, because usually the server software is not cheap. 2019, when I installed it for a client, was almost for just the basic, not the essentials, the next step up, because essentials is generally relatively cheap because it only allows for like 5 or 10 connections. But the next step up on it, which I believe is standard, I think it was like an $800 piece of software for that. And I mean, it does a wonderful job. It has some functions in that you would normally find in a Windows computer, but on the flip side, you normally can't play games on a Windows Server computer. I mean, basic simple games, Facebook, stuff like that, but you're not going to be playing Call of Duty and Ghost and all that on a server system, simply because it's not designed for that type of functionality. But there you go. Those of you, like I said, who this impacts, hopefully you're up to date on it and reading it and making the decision if it's going to be for you. I know they are really pushing the Azure servers or cloud-based version of this. I've seen that already. And then again, they've been pushing that with the older server. So if you want a local server, great. If you want a cloud-based server, that's fine too. Cloud-based is not necessarily a bad idea, because if there's a catastrophe in your area, fire, tornado, whatever, because your server is stored on the cloud somewhere else, you can later on access it, so on and so forth. Where if you have to do it local for whatever reason, like my one client does, who has to do it local for HIPAA compliance, yeah, you always have to make sure you have those backups. So again, Windows Server came out for general review last week, so it's available for download if you want to take a look at it, and it's available on the Microsoft website as a 180-day trial, and so on and so forth. So, but yeah, you can download the virtual hard drive version or the ISO, and put it in your own virtual machine if you want, and just tinker with it, play with it, get familiar with it. In fact, if you're planning on upgrading later on this year, it wouldn't hurt to download it now and kind of like get yourself familiar with it, so you're aware of it. So there are some hardware requirements for it, so make sure you're aware of that from the Microsoft website. Other than that, have fun. So I hope that was interesting. It probably doesn't affect a lot of you out there. However, like I said, for those that it does, now you know. Anyways, like, share, and subscribe if you found this useful. There's all the places you can find us online. There's our phone number and our text number. You can text us there. This is our service area. You know, you can come to us, we can come to you. Just give us a call and let us know when you want to come to us or when you want us to come to you, and we'll get things taken care of. So, side note, 2 times in the last 2 days, I've had people come in and said, we never knew you existed. Been in Clyde for 7 years. So, kind of surprised there. So, anyways, you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you later.